Good morning. Donald Payen, Executive Vice President, Commercial and Communications of Air Mauritius.
Well, thanks for joining us here at World Travel Market, Donald. UK, particularly important market for you.
It's a very important market. We've been operating to the UK for quite a number of years. It was one of our first destinations in our network. Very important market. We operate currently 5 frequencies a week to the UK market in London Heathrow, and we also provide connections out of the UK northern part into Paris via our hub, which we operate with Air France twice a day, connecting to Mauritius. So we've got a fairly good spread of frequencies into covering the UK market.
Now, across Europe, it's been hit pretty bad. It's been fairly flat couple of years for Europe, but UK, there's some signs of recovery here. There's green shoots. It's doing fairly well for you.
It's doing fairly well for Air Mauritius, we are the national airline of Mauritius, and last year when one of the operators announced that they would be stopping operations into the UK this winter, we immediately came up with the additional frequencies that were required by the market. It's a difficult market, and Europe has been very difficult, especially during the global financial crisis, which hit the world in 2008 and 2009, and which also had collateral damage to the airline industry. It's been very hard. This is why this year, which is a year of recovery for us, we've tried to progress the deployment of capacity mainly outside Europe. The UK being an exception, because we moved from 3 to 5 frequencies with an objective of moving to a daily frequency whenever the demand will be there.
Now, you mentioned outside Europe. What do you see as the emerging markets that offer you the most potential?
What we've seen is, and this goes with our deployment of capacity around the Indian Ocean rim. Basically, we've operated an additional frequency to Johannesburg, making it 7 frequencies a week. Second frequency to Durban, a second frequency to Nairobi, a second frequency to Delhi, third frequency to Hong Kong, and we've resumed operations to Sydney with a second frequency into Australia. And we see a lot of activity in India, and in the future we see a lot of activity in China.
China, yeah?
China, yes. Today China is emerging as one of the major tourist providing markets in the world, and the growth there is spectacular, and that's why we are looking very closely at an operations next year, possibly to Shanghai.
Is there any particular techniques or advice you would give about tapping into the Chinese market? Because although there's a huge amount of potential because of the language barrier and other cultural differences, it's not the easiest market to break into.
First of all, I think the world doesn't know enough about China. I think there's a lot of prior bias about what the Chinese really want as far as travel needs. I think there's a lot to learn. China is a world in the world, and it's up to us to adapt to China. And I think what we need to do is adapt our product offer so that we obviously speak more Mandarin, which is I think a major requirement, that we adapt our product, whether it be the hotel product, the airline product, to be able to tap into that market. But some destinations are doing very well. Chinese are moving in big numbers around the world. There's a big online travel market in China, which is just booming. So we are looking at over 40 million Chinese moving out of China this year. So it's a lot of traffic, and it's double digit growth year in, year out.
Now, turning to the Mauritius, the island itself, it's a beautiful destination, and this week at the World Travel Awards it picked up world's leading island destination.
Yes, Mauritius picked that coveted award, and I think it's gratifying to note that it's the second year running that Mauritius gets that prize. It's obviously something that's very important as we move forward in terms of the marketing of our destination, because at least there's a recognition from the travel trade of this destination being one of the leading destinations. And it goes in line with the prize that we got earlier in the year ourselves at Air Mauritius as leading airline to the Indian Ocean. And recently, on Sunday night, we had the opportunity of collecting the Best Airline Award by one of our major operators, Virgin Holidays. So all this adds to the clout of Mauritius, and hopefully Air Mauritius can continue to be of service to the country it served so well over the past 43 years.
Okay, Donald, well, thanks very much for joining us here on Breaking Travel.
Thank you very much.